One of the greatest fighters of all time, sitting to my right, the founder of Golden Boy Promotions, the Golden Boy himself, whose guy, Canelo Alvarez, is getting in the ring against Triple G in Las Vegas coming up this Saturday. Good to see you, Oscar De La Hoya. How are you, sir?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, kidding me?
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. I don't think we've ever met before.
No,
fact,
first time.
But I covered,
and we have mutual friends, and this. I mean, it's great. Yeah, we're both golfers, right?
Well, I mean, I commit golf. I don't exactly play it. Go ahead. Are you one of those golfers that won't say your handicap in public for fear of the candy being given out on a golf course?
I got to make some money. You know, I'm retired now, so I got to make a few dollars. I'm not going to say my handicap.
You're not good. By the way, Marshall Falk, who I work with in the NFL Network, Pro Football Hall of Fame running back, will not say his handicap on the air.
He won't. Yeah, no? Sandbagger.
So are you a sandbagger?
No. I like golf. Golf to me is a game where it's probably one of the only games where you know, the integrity of the game, you know, the honesty. And like, I'm the type of golfer who, if my ball goes out to the right to the woods,
yes,
and I have like rocks or pebbles, whatever, behind it, and if I move a rock and the ball moves just a bit and nobody saw, it's like, I'll give myself a penalty.
You will?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's just, I love the game of golf.
But you know what? That's a window into your soul, I believe. I really do believe that if anybody decides to cheat in golf without anybody around, how do you look yourself in the mirror?
But that's the great thing about golf, you know. It's like it's you and that ball, you know.
Right. Now is that now the fact that what's a game with less cheating, golf or boxing?
Well, I mean that's why I don't cheat in golf, because I mean, you know, all these other sports are so corrupt, you know. Jesus. Every sport out there, like, what's going on?
Oh, my gosh.
Except golf.
So, again, it just shows you that you're still moving around the ring. You still haven't mentioned your handicap on the air.
I'm a legit 4. I'm a legit 4. Oh. Yeah, index. So, which makes me, I mean, what, like a 6, maybe?
Okay.
So I can play a little.
Oscar De La Hoya's got a stick over here.
I can
stick and move.
And I play lefty.
You know. So, you play lefty?
I play lefty, yeah.
Why? Just picked up a club one day?
Yeah, I just picked it up one day, and it happened to be a lefty club, and just stuck with it.
Well, moving on to corrupt sports. Wow. I don't know. That's a segue. When was the first time you saw Canelo Alvarez? When was the first time you laid eyes on him?
I laid eyes on him. He was like 14 years old. He was 14 years old, and one of his like trainers. I was doing some a promotion in Arizona, and he hands me over a picture of this kid, red hair, freckles. I said, "Oh wow! I mean, this must be what is he Irish or what is he?" No, this is a Mexican kid that I'm training. He's 14 years old, 13 years old, and by the way, that's your next superstar. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I get all these requests like all the time. I see pictures, I see fighters, and so, okay, sure. So sure enough, I mean, he turned 18. He was ready to sign with a promoter, and so I already had started like noticing him because he turned pro in Mexico when he was 15. So he started making noise and started knocking everybody out. And so I started thinking, wow, I have this redheaded Mexican, freckles, good-looking kid. I mean, there's something here that I can do with him. I can promote him, and sure enough, yeah, he's now one of the biggest stars in boxing today.
What took so long to set this fight up, do you think, Oscar?
I think the fact that he had to build up to the middleweight division, that's it. Because, look, I was able to jump 6 weight classes when I was fighting.
Yes.
And it takes time. Your body has to adjust. You know, you have to build it up, build up to the weight class, because the punches are harder. You know, I mean, the guys are bigger and faster, and so yeah, I was just waiting for him to bulk up to the middleweight division, and here we are now. So he's ready.
So when it all comes down to it here, how nervous do you get as a promoter sitting there and not being able to control? Because every great athlete I know that no longer actually physically competes, but now is in some form of either front office management,
right,
or in the case of what you're doing right now, cannot handle not being in control.
You know, so I'm sitting down right there ringside, watching the fight. First of all, I wish I was up there, you know. Second, when they start landing those big bombs, I'm like, I'm glad I'm here, right?
Yes. It's interesting how that works.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I just want a great fight. That's it. When you do all the work, from signing the individual fighters to the actual fight, signing the contracts to getting all the promotion in place, all the marketing, and you're dealing with, you know, everybody and their mother, from, you know, all the sponsors and HBO and this and that. So you get all the work done. Everything's running smooth. It's fight week. We're in Vegas, the final press conference, the weigh-in. So now it's the fight, Saturday night. I'm just thinking, gosh, I wish this fight would just turn out to be like one of those classics, you know, like I really do think this fight here, Saturday night, Canelo Triple G, will be like Thomas Hearns versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler. It was like 3 rounds of hell for both guys, you know? I really do think this fight here is going to be even better than that one.
Oscar De La Hoya here on the Rich Eisen Show. So then how do you feel, I think I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask it anyway, that a fight like Mayweather-McGregor gets so much attention,
right?
Okay, thrown on it. And
right.
every purist that I interviewed, boxing pugilist purist, just scoffed at what a sideshow that was. The fact that gets all that attention and this fight doesn't get, it's getting some attention. It's getting a nice amount of attention, but not even close to what we were talking about with Mayweather-McGregor.
Look, we'll do incredible business on Saturday night, because it's obviously, I call it, and people call it, a real fight with 2 boxers, you know. Because look, Mayweather, who's a boxer, he's probably one of the best, you know, boxers in our generation, goes up against an MMA fighter who has 0 experience in boxing. What do you expect? You know, it's like Mayweather going into the UFC, the octagon. What are you going to expect? You don't expect Mayweather to choke him out or to tap him out or knock him out. You expect, obviously, McGregor to beat him in a minute or 2, you know? So this fight here with Canelo and Triple G, it's a real fight. It's going to be, I'm going to call it like 6 to 8 rounds, even maybe 10 rounds of hell for both guys. It's going to be a war.
So why do you think McGregor lasted so long against Mayweather?
I think because Mayweather let him last a few rounds. It made it interesting for the people to watch. I really do feel that way. A
money's worth situation, given what?
Absolutely. I mean,
that if he knocked him out within 2 rounds, it'd be like, what do we pay the money for?
You know that Mayweather tried betting on himself in the 10th round, and the bookie kind of, you know, told him, look, you can't bet against yourself or with yourself,
right, in
the 10th round. So I mean, it's a true story. So you know, I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
Oscar De La Hoya here on the Rich Eisen Show. It has been 10 years since you fought Mayweather.
It has been. Wow, that long.
That 24/7 series. Yeah, it was the first one.
It was the very first one.
Incredible. That really was great.
Yeah. Well, you know,
people are still talking. I'm still talking about it.
People, you know, get to know you. You know who you really are. You know, I mean, yeah, it's great. You're the fighter. You train hard. You know, they can see you work out and this and that. But who are you? Like, where do you come from? Like, why'd you start boxing? You know, what drives you? 24/7 is pretty cool.
Right. And so the fact that Mayweather retired before you could get another shot at him.
Can I tell you the story on that?
Please. What was the story on that?
So the fight was close, you know. I mean,
split cards.
It was split cards. I mean, I do have to say I was already over the hill for that one. I mean, it was not even close to being on my prime. But so I had a contract, a rematch clause in the contract for 1 year. So what does Mayweather do? He retires for 1 year and 1 day. You know, so there goes that contract, and couldn't get the rematch.
So why do you think he did that, Oscar?
Well, why do you think?
He didn't want another piece of you? Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Of course. That's why not? It was the biggest generating, money fight at the time.
No, there's no question about that.
Exactly, but that's what he's all about, is fighting for the money.
Well,
So
the whole thing, though, wouldn't a rematch have been a bunch more money for him? I mean,
exactly.
So why wouldn't he have fought?
I think the fight was too difficult for him. That's what I think.
That you would have made life too difficult for him.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't his dad, though, your trainer leading
He
up
was.
to that fight?
And it's funny because after the fight, his dad came up to me and said, "Congratulations, you beat my son." So.
And then, so what do you think that then he fights it as a 40-year-old and he retired?
No, he's great. I mean, he's doing great. He's, like I said, he's one of the best boxers of our generation.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I think his legacy is going to be one where, I mean, look, he was able to generate all this money, and he fought for the prize instead of fighting for the glory and the actual fight. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I do. Go ahead, ask him your question.
Yeah,
Chris.
Canelo's only loss is to Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
How would Floyd fare against this version of Canelo?
It would be a totally different story. I mean, Mayweather fought him at 21 years of age, and he had no experience whatsoever. Although he did have tons of fights under his belt, but he didn't have the championship experience that he has now. It would be a totally different fight, I think. But yeah, unfortunately, we won't see that rematch.
Well, maybe you could. Well, who would you rather see your guy face? Mayweather at age 40 or McGregor right now? What do you think?
I think I would have him. I'm looking so forward to Triple G.
No, I know,
right? I mean, I just
okay.
There's nobody else out there. I mean, because this Triple G fight, this Triple G fight is gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be. If you look, all those people that watched McGregor and Mayweather were entertained.
Yes.
They were entertained. It was an entertaining show or whatever it was called. Right?
Yes.
So and boxing is now exposed to millions and millions of people.
That is true.
Eyeballs. But if you thought that was a good fight, I mean, this Saturday night, I mean, it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be like, see, and this is why I love the UFC. I really do, because you go inside that octagon and nobody's dancing. Nobody's like boxing and just putting on like a boring show. It's a real fight. This is what boxing needs this Saturday night is a real fight, and we have that Saturday night.
Triple G and Canelo Alvarez in the T-Mobile Arena Saturday. This coming up, and my eyes will be peeled. I will be watching, sir.
It'll be fun.
I will be out there. Before I let you go, what is your favorite boxing movie?
Cinderella Man. Yeah.
Why?
Just the whole story about fighting for the family, for the kids. That era, where what was it? Took place in the 40s, 30s, 40s. I mean, it was just such a beautiful story. I mean, what he stood for, I mean, he fought for what was right. He fought for America. He fought for his country, for his family. The inspirational story behind it of like, you can be down but not out. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So which film that you've seen looks like the real thing, like boxing, like when you actually see the scenes where a boxer is in the ring? Raging Bull? Is that it?
Raging Bull, yeah. You have to also, you cannot count out Stallone. You cannot count out Stallone.
So which one? Which Rocky would you?
Well, it has the latest one with
Creed.
Creed, yes. It looked pretty, I mean, hey, it looked pretty real. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, he does a phenomenal job.
Oh, I thought you'd go with the one with Dolph Lundgren, you know, with Triple G coming out right now. I thought you'd go
will
the Russian.
break you.
Oscar De La Hoya here on the Rich Eisen Show. For the television audience, we are going to fight it out, you and I. You don't know it, okay? You don't know. It's a look he just gave me.
Wow.
Don't worry. We're not going to actually touch gloves. Figuratively, though.
Okay.
That's what we call a tease for the television audience. We'll describe it when the radio audience returns. Steve Mariucci will be here in the middle of this hour to talk about Week 1 of the National Football League and what he thinks is going to happen tonight and Monday Night Football in both Minnesota and Denver. And your phone calls at 844-204-RICH here on this edition of the Rich Eisen Show. I've got an idea for you, Oscar, again, because I'm trying to leave you in a better spot than I found you. How about this, okay? The winner of the fight, just to give some sort of tip of the cap, if you will, or just a bouquet-type hug, has to go to proflowers.com and give the other a bouquet of flowers.
I like that.
How about that?
I love that.
20% off. I can give whoever wins. Like, let's say your guy, of course, Canelo Alvarez wins.
What are we talking about? Roses or petunias or what?
Summer rose bouquets or any other bouquet of over $29 or more. You can get 20% off right now, and you could use the code Eisen.
I like that.
At checkout.
I like that.
What do you think, Brockman?
Beautiful.
Say, I'm sorry I beat you with a Pro Flowers bouquet. Why not? And they're guaranteed to stay fresh for at least 7 days or your money back, which I've heard a guarantee about this fight, too. Get 20% off summer roses or any other bouquet of $29 or more at proflowers.com, but use my code Eisen at checkout. Proflowers.com, code Eisen at checkout. Don't wait to make someone's day. Okay, Oscar De La Hoya spending one more segment with us. The HBO pay-per-view fight between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G coming up in Las Vegas on Saturday. It's going to be an exciting fight. I'm definitely going to be watching it. I've always wanted to get in the ring with somebody of your caliber, Oscar, but I don't believe I'm more of a lover than not a fighter. So this is the way I'd like to fight you, if you don't mind.
Makes two of us.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. All right.
Let's move the show mug.
All right.
Over here. Have you ever played this before?
You know what? It's actually my first time.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, Oscar De La Hoya has never played Rock'em Sock'em Robots before.
So am I Canelo here?
Yeah, and I'll be Triple G.
There you
go. On the count, do you have a bell that could be played?
Yep, I got a bell.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Come on.
Two warriors.
Come on now.
I mean, this may go.
Yes!
Jesus!
Take that, Oscar De La Hoya!
Oh my gosh!
And by the way, I know it might be in our contract. No rematch.
No rematch.
I retire. Look at that!
Jesus, knocked out.
Yes!
Wow. What's going on?
Walk off!
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that, please download our app. There's lots of fun things there other than just more of the videos you just saw. You can call us from the app. You can email us from the app. Just download it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.